Hello everyone, my name is Cheryl. Today's project is going to be making pen and pencil holders out of the inside of toilet rolls. What you're going to require today for the project will be a pen, a ruler, some paper, some school glue, the inside of a toilet roll, and some pretty accessories, and a pair of scissors, as well as a hot glue gun. Alright, so let's get started. So what we need to do is measure the approximate length and width of the inside of a toilet roll. I have worked out that the approximate length of this particular area that I need is going to be roughly 5 inches or 12 centimeters depending on what you prefer using. So let's go ahead and measure that. So 4 inches across. We can just use our pen and we just measure it out. Draw a line across so that we can get it nice and even, and then we just cut along the line that we've made. We also have to measure the approximate width of this particular, length of this particular roll, and I'm going to take off about that much, which is probably like 4 inches as well. So we're going to just measure out 4 inches along this area over here, and then we're going to draw a line again and just take off that piece. We'll be using this piece of paper a little bit later as well for something else, so just hold on to the paper, do not throw it away. Okay, so once we've cut that, just put it to one side, and we are going to put a little bit of glue along this edge as well as the other edge. We are not going to be putting glue on the length of this piece of paper, just on each edge. We're then going to take our toilet roll holder and we're going to roll it onto the toilet paper. Okay, once we've got it nicely stuck down, we are going to use our pair of scissors to score along each section on the inside. So just cut little pieces like that, because we're going to be tucking this paper inside to make it nice and neat. And you're going to do the other side as well. Okay, now we're going to put a little bit of glue just on the outside of this cut line, because we're going to be folding this on the inside of the tube. And we do the same on the other side. Okay, and then we just tuck it in with our fingers and make sure that we've pressed it down nice and hard so that it takes against the inside of the tube. Keep going until you go all the way around. Make sure that you've squeezed it down firmly and that it's not sticking up. Okay, once that is done and you're happy that it's all nicely placed and squeezed down firmly, remember it must be squeezed down firmly because we're going to be putting another piece of paper on the inside. Okay, so what I've done is I've decided to use another piece of paper but of a different pattern, because you'll notice that I have changed the pattern up to give it some dimension, and we are going to measure the inside of this tube. Now the inside should be roughly 3 1/4 inches, or in this particular case 8.5 centimeters. So let's measure out 3 1/4 inches, and then we can use our pen again and just score along there. Draw a line. And cut it again. So just put that piece of paper to one side. Okay, so I've cut that already, and I have measured the inside of the tube. So just for saving a bit of time, the inside of the tube should be roughly 9 inches, or in centimeters, 23 centimeters. And the reason for us cutting off the edges, we want to use it to make little circles for the bottom of the tube as well. So I've already done the other two, as you can see, and now we're going to be doing the inside. So let's just fold this and get it so that it fits nicely inside the tube. And this is where it's very important to make sure that you have stuck down the inside of the pieces of paper onto your tube so that it can fit nicely over where you have stuck it down. Alright, smooth it out, and once you're happy with that, let's put a little bit of glue just along the edges to make sure that it sticks. Okay, so now that you have smoothed it down nicely and it's fitting neatly on the inside, you can then turn it around, and you're going to use that same piece of paper that you did on the inside, and you're going to measure around with your pen and cut out a nice little round ring. Okay, and I've gone ahead and done that already. So I have my little piece of paper, and we're just going to put a little bit of glue around the edge of this paper, and we're going to stick it down. Now please make sure that your items are nicely measured and smoothed out before you do this process. Okay. Because it can get rather sticky. Okay, once that's done, you now have your 3 little items, and where your line ended, where your paper is, try and get those 3 together. So 1, 2, and 3. And we're going to put some hot glue along that edge. And we're going to stick these 3 together. Okay, and then you stick this one together with that. Make sure it's nice and tight and firm together, and then get your next one where your line is and do the same with that with a bit of hot glue, and push it up against your other 2 items. Right, so now you've got your pencil holders. Now to decorate this, we could either use some ribbon, or in this case, I would like to add a little bit of extra bling and add that. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so let's go ahead and adhere this. You can use ordinary school glue if you like. In my particular instance, I'm going to be using some hot glue. Just be very careful with this process because it will burn your fingers. And just put it on slowly, a little bit at a time. Push it into the corner so that it adheres nicely. And just keep on going until you reach the edge. And then you can trim it off with a pair of scissors. And you try the next one and do exactly the same. Now try and keep this nice and flush with the edge of your toilet roll dispenser. Okay, so now we're going on to our second one, and we're doing exactly the same, and we're just making sure that we get it nice and straight all along the edge. Keep on going till we reach the end of that section. And once again, please be careful that you do not burn your fingers. And you do exactly the same with your third and final one. Now you could always add more of the bling at the bottom area if you like, but in this particular case I think that's all we need. We don't want to overdo it. Okay, and there we have it. Perfect for pens, pencils, pairs of scissors, a ruler, and there we go. Thank you.